What if the greatest economic trap ever devised wasn't built in Washington, London, or Beijing, but in Moscow? What if the next global currency isn't just another coin, but a ticking time bomb? And what if it's already live? We all know one of the classic moves in times of uncertainty: buy gold, timeless, stable, valuable. But what happens when nations, specifically the United States, start doing it? The moment the US Treasury buys gold, the price of gold goes up. And when that happens, something strange begins to unfold. The BRICS get stronger, and the dollar gets weaker. Now you're probably thinking, what does gold have to do with BRICS? Everything. While the West was busy managing the collapse of empires, the BRICS were quietly building an alternative. First, they cloned the World Bank. Then, they mimicked the IMF. And now, they're unveiling a new currency, the so-called BRICS currency. We don't know its name yet, but we do know this. It's not just a currency, it's a revolution in disguise. If you want to understand what's happening, you have to stop thinking like an American economist. You have to stop thinking in terms of fiat, inflation, and GDP charts. You have to start thinking like a Russian strategist. Because only a nation like Russia could come up with something this cold, this clever, this devastating. So what this BRICS currency? Well, it's not pegged to the dollar, it's not pegged to the euro. In fact, it's not pegged to any currency. It's pegged to gold by weight. Let that sink in. 1 unit of BRICS currency, call it a brick for now, will be defined as a fixed weight of gold. Maybe an ounce, maybe a kilo. Doesn't matter. The key point is, it's not redeemable, but it is anchored. Now let's go to Aristotle. Yes, Aristotle, who gave us a piece of logic so powerful, it just might dismantle the modern financial order, the transitive law. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Apply it here. 1 brick equals 1 ounce of gold. 1 ounce of gold equals $1,970. So, 1 brick equals $1,970. But here's the catch, that number isn't fixed. The price of gold fluctuates every second. That means the dollar value of the brick rises as gold rises, and the dollar weakens by comparison. And this is intentional. You see, the BRICS don't want to fight the dollar, they want to free ride it. They want the dollar gold market to survive, in fact they need it. Let the US handle the messy, expensive infrastructure gold exchanges, futures contracts, settlement systems. Let JP Morgan and COMEX do the heavy lifting. The BRICS, they'll just sit back, quietly, patiently, and let gold do the work. This isn't a gold-backed win. This isn't a return to the gold standard. This isn't even a challenge to the dollar's dominance. At least not directly. And yet, this could be the most brilliant stealth attack on US financial supremacy in modern history. Because the BRICS don't even need to own a mountain of gold. They don't need to make a market, they don't need to offer redemption, they don't even need capital controls. They just declare, this currency is worth this weight of gold. And the world listens. Not because of the BRICS power, but because of the dollar's fragility. It's fiat versus fiat, except one is floating in air, and the other is anchored to the earth. Now let's ask the uncomfortable question, what can the US do? What if in response Washington finally says, fine, we'll buy gold, we'll beat them at their own game? But that's exactly where the trap springs shut, because the more gold the United States buys, the higher the price goes, and the higher the gold price, the stronger the brick becomes, and the stronger the brick becomes, the weaker the dollar looks. Checkmate. This is a financial mousetrap and the cheese is glowing gold. And here's the sinister part, the BRICS don't even have to move. They've weaponized weight, they've turned the dollar's own market structure into a liability. This is Russian elegance, this is Chinese patience, this is economic judo. But why now? Why not 5 years ago? Because 5 years ago, trust still existed. Trust in United States financial institutions. Trust in the rule of law. Trust in the dollar. Then came Ukraine. Then came the freezing of Russia's central bank assets. $300 billion in US treasuries. Not stolen by pirates, seized by a democracy. And the world watched. Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Turkey, India, they all asked themselves, what if they don't like what we do? Will our assets be next? That was the turning point. The move from dollar hegemony to dollar hesitation began that day. The BRICS project went from idea to emergency. Now let's step back. Why has the dollar ruled for so long? Because of scale and trust. No other bond market can absorb global savings like the US Treasury market. It's deep, it's liquid, and it's powered by hundreds of years of infrastructure, law, and precedent. But if that trust is broken, if the system designed to protect assets starts seizing them, then suddenly, even an imperfect system like BRICS starts looking safer. No one's saying BRICS is a utopia, it isn't. But it isn't the dollar, it isn't controlled by the US Treasury, and that, for many, is good enough. So what happens next? What if more countries quietly begin pricing oil in BRICS? What if international trade deals start settling in BRICS, not dollars? What if even small central banks start to reference weight over value? You don't need everyone to switch, you just need enough people to question, and suddenly the most powerful currency in the world is floating on doubt. Gold won't explode overnight, the dollar won't collapse tomorrow, but we are entering a new phase of monetary warfare, where the weapon isn't interest rates or sanctions or inflation targets. The weapon is weight. So ask yourself, what happens when the most powerful currency in the world walks into a room and realizes it's standing on a trapdoor? If this opened your eyes, even a little, don't let it stop here. Hit like so more people see the truth, and subscribe to stay ahead of the curve. The system won't warn you, but we will.